So after over a year of building this game and 4 years of building Pro Wrestling Manager before that, I am really happy to show off the first video playthrough of Wrestleverse. So I'm just going to dive straight in and create a new save file. So this game comes with a default scenario of a fictional universe of promotions, championships, shows, and wrestlers for the first time ever, complete with images. And all this stuff is supported with custom scenarios as well. Custom scenarios just aren't ready in this build yet. And the next thing you'll notice is you can actually choose which promotion you can play as. So scenarios will now support multiple promotions and you can choose which one you play as, and the rest will be controlled by the computer. After creating the save file, you'll be brought to the familiar booking screen. The main screen is today's show. You also have a dedicated tab for your roster and the office tab for all other management tasks. So I mentioned that there are other promotions in the game and you can go and see what they're doing. So if I tap on the promotions tab, I've got my player promotion up here. I'm playing as Defiant Wrestling Federation and the computer is playing as Elite Wrestling Alliance. Right now there are only 2 promotions, but the Wrestleverse scenario will launch with 4 promotions. So you'll be competing against 3 others. We can see which championships this other promotion has, and you can see the championships now support images. And the same goes for shows. So I can tap in, and again, shows support images as well. And you'll also notice we're no longer limited to 1 weekly show and 1 monthly show. We can do whatever we like. We can set weekly, monthly, yearly shows with whatever frequency we want, with whatever images we want. I'm gonna back out and show you something else that's new, and that is auto booker settings. Right now there are only 2, but more will be expanded over time before launch. The first is a preference for how you would like the auto booker to book championship matches. And the second, which has been a long requested feature, is how you want the autobooker to set the winner, whether you want it to be realistic or you want it to be totally random. So let's do random for now. So now that I've got my autobooker set up the way I want it, the only thing I'm missing before I start booking is some rivalries. And before I do that, I want to familiarize myself with the roster. You can see for the first time the roster is organized by card position. You can change this to whatever grouping method you like, but I'm going to stick to card position for now, because I do want to focus on main event rivalry. So let's have a look at Damian Monroe, who I've set as the DWF Ultimate Champion. So the first thing you see up top is this brawler, and that is a wrestling style, which is a new concept in the game. And there are 5 wrestling styles: Technician, High Flyer, Powerhouse, Brawler, and All-Rounder. And every combination of each gives some sort of pairing rating, and that plays into your segment rating in the end. Next we have momentum, which is a brand new mechanic in this game. Now everyone starts off with totally neutral momentum, and over time, as you finish rivalries, pick up wins, win championships, etc., your momentum will slowly start going up. The higher your momentum, the higher the chance of a good rating, and also the higher the chance of a popularity increase. And the reverse is also true for cold momentum. Next we see disposition is no longer just a simple heel or face. We have this spectrum of where someone lies from heel to face. Next we have the stats that we're familiar with, so we can see that Damian Monroe is probably one of the most popular wrestlers in the Wrestleverse. We also have a brand new bio section. This section is optional for custom scenarios, but in the Wrestleverse every wrestler has a deep, extensive bio to help you really get to know these brand new wrestlers. So Damian Monroe is a guy who thrives on overcoming adversity and pushing the boundaries of professional wrestling. He excels at storytelling, often delivering emotional comebacks and explosive moments. So we'll keep that in mind when we're trying to pair him up with someone in a rivalry. And also new, to again help you really get to know these brand new wrestlers, is a moveset section. This is again optional in custom scenarios. So here we can see what moves the commentator is likely going to reference, and then gives us an idea of what's actually happening when those moves take place. The next wrestler I'm going to take a look at is Kyla Winkle. So Kyla Winkle is a technician, and with a brawler, that is actually unpredictable, so it could go well and it might not go so well. So it could be interesting to pair him up with Damian Monroe. And as we can see on the disposition side of things, he is as heel as we get. He's also very popular. Now this guy, Kyla Winkle, is a tech billionaire turned wrestler who embodies Silicon Valley arrogance and elitism. Thrives on belittling fans and opponents as beneath his superior intellect. So he very much comes across as if Elon Musk got into the ring. This is who I see Kyla Winkle as being. So I think he makes a good pairing for Damien Monroe storytelling-wise. So let's go ahead and start that rivalry. And you'll also notice there's a new supporting characters. Supporting characters is useful when you've got a rivalry like Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And in that rivalry, the Bloodline are heavily related, but they aren't the actual rivals. They aren't the focus of the story. So you could have the Bloodline as supporting characters, and they would get a bit of a boost as well. So we've got our rivalry created, and now I'm going to go ahead and book the show. For now, I'm just going to auto-book the whole thing. Alright, I'm actually going to replace this match. So instead of Damien Monroe facing the Finest Duke and Kyla Winkle comes in to get involved, I'm actually going to remove him, and I'm going to replace Finest Duke with Kyla Winkle. And I'm actually going to have Kyla Winkle win and take the title, just so I can show you something. And another new little thing is you can actually see the championship in line into the segment, which is nice. So now our first segment is simulating, and we see our familiar commentary engine, and it's referencing these movesets of these fictional wrestlers. Just going to scroll down and show you the new ratings engine. So it's all just one rating now. Instead, you'll have different things that'll just contribute to it, and you'll be shown what contributes to this rating. So in this case, those wrestling styles that I mentioned earlier, we've shown that has actually contributed positively to the rating. And what would have been just the storytelling rating in PWM 24 is now just a factor towards the overall rating in Wrestleverse. And what's cool now is, after the first segment, you don't have to wait for the commentary to generate for the next segment because it's already being generated whilst we read over the second segment. So when we go over, we barely had to wait. And now we have our big championship match. So let's scroll down and see what happens. So Kyla Winkle won the title, as we booked. They had a lot of star power. Their wrestling styles did not suit each other in the end, so that gamble did not pay off. And the prestige also contributed to this high rating. And so the reason I made that title change, and the last thing I want to show you, is if I go into the office, go into championships, and have a look at the DWF Ultimate Championship, you can see a redesigned championship history view. And this is something that's been requested for a long time. So if you have a look at the previous reigns, we had Damien Monroe, who was made the inaugural champion in January 2025. But on the same day, so he had a length of 0 days, on the same day, Kyla Winkle won the championship, who is now the current champion, and we can see all of his defenses as well. So he defeated Monroe for that initial win. We can see the show that he won in at, the date, and then his current reign and days is shown here. And that's it. That is your early look at this alpha build of Wrestleverse. For those of you that signed up for the beta, the first invites will start rolling out in February. Otherwise, I will leave a link in the description for you to register for updates as soon as they come out. Thank you for watching.